Hello, 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 everyone. And guys, we might run this webinar a little bit like we run the webinars in our transformation support community program. So the way we do it in there is if you open up your chat box and we can talk through there. And we often like to start by saying hello. So please say hello to the live members who are with us. Um, and let's maybe, if we keep our audios muted, but if you're feeling brave, I do love to see your lovely faces. And as I'm sure you can predict, I have a sneaky little PowerPoint for us. So let me just pull that up right now. Now, I am a bit of a nuffy when it comes to technology. So we have the wonderful Emma, who is our online programs manager, supporting us. And Em, just want to check with you guys. You can see me? You can see my PowerPoint? Rocking and rolling. Beautiful. Okay. And guys, I will check the PowerPoint periodically. Sorry, check the chat box periodically as well. So guys, the first thing I wanted to say is a big warm welcome to you guys, to both the members who are attending live. I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys. And also, I think we've had about 150 people register for this webinar so we can send it to them later. So hello if you're watching in your own time. The interest in this health professionals membership to our transformation support community has been a bit eye-opening and a bit jaw-dropping at times. So we feel really heartened to have health professionals interested in this offering. And also I'm excited for today because I normally present webinars that I've done 5 times before or more, and this is a completely new one for me. So we're all kind of taking this journey together. So I thought I would introduce myself because I think you'll probably know me to varying degrees. So my name is Glenn McIntosh, and I'm a psychologist who's really into eating, physical activity, weight, body image, and general health. That's kind of my jam. I did my research, my master's research in psychosocial factors and weight concerns, and I have published research in this space. But I think that my real value to the public and to you as health professionals is probably in my clinical experience. I've spent almost all of my time working with clients in this space. And I consider that if I do my job well, I'm not so much a researcher, but a translator of research into easy to understand, applicable principles and strategies that everyday people can use. I head up weight management psychology, which is a group of at the moment 6 psychologists, 2 dietitians, and a personal trainer. So that takes up a bit of my time, and in that time, I still do see clients 2 days a week. We have been running online courses, Em and I, since 2013, so 10 years now. And our latest offering is the transformation support community, which I'll let you know about. And in many ways, it is bigger than our practice. We have about 275 members in the online community. So servicing them every week is actually bigger than our practice in a lot of senses. I absolutely love working with health professionals. I run courses on the psychology of eating, weight, and body image for Dietitians Australia, for dietitians, obviously, for psychologists through the Australian Psychological Society. I've done work with the Australian Medical Association for medical doctors. and also worked with personal trainers and fitness experts through the Philex convention. So that's something that I enjoy, and I get a lot out of talking to you guys. So I'm looking forward to talking with you today. I do also do a reasonable amount of public work and media work. I feel as though in our online community, our online team, and our practice, we have a lot to share that is compassionate, that is evidence-based, and that is somewhat innovative. So I wrote a book on this stuff in 2020. It was published January 2020. It came out, and I do a bit of work in the media. So I hope that's not too indulgent to let you know about me. But I just thought that I'm actually, if you're interested in this online community, I do about 90% of the content in the community. So I thought you might want to know a little bit about who will be taking you through this material. And guys, I will just periodically, like I said, I will check the chat box. So if you have any comments or questions, would love to hear them, guys. Okay, so what are we going to do today? The whole focus of today is on this transformation support community, or as we lovingly call it, the TSC, Health Professionals Only membership. So I thought it would be good to talk about what actually is the TSC community, because what the TSC community is a program that's developed for the public. And then I want to have a little bit of a base understanding of that, and then sort of let you know about why we created a health professionals only membership to the community, and the rationale for that and some of the benefits of it. I do want to let you know about some of the details of the membership, and how it differs from the full membership in some important ways. And then I thought it would be good to actually take a little tour of the health professionals membership and kind of show you around, for if you do join up with the membership, kind of what is available to you, specifically a few things that that I think you'll be really, really interested in, some of the main value for health professionals. And then look, as I said, I'm very happy to talk and have our Q&A all the way through, but I'll leave some time at the end so we can have a chat. So guys, let me let you know a little bit about the transformation support community program that the health professionals membership is based on. So this is the program that's for the public, that this health professionals offering really draws from. So the TSC is a member only support group, and it is created especially for people who want support, and really close support, with transforming their eating, their physical activity, their weight, their body image. It is, as you will kind of see, it is actually more of a whole person, holistic type of a program. So we do end up, quite often moving into general health concerns, into mental health, into positive life coaching, work-life balance, relationships, all of these other things that are related to the concerns that our people probably come in to the community first for. It is a community that supports mainly, but not exclusively, people who live in larger bodies. Mainly, but not exclusively, women, and mainly, but again, not exclusively, people who have experienced a lot of yo-yo dieting, and probably mostly what we would call, subclinical eating concerns. So we definitely do see people in the community who have diagnosed eating disorders, But most of the people I would say we would say they have these subclinical eating disordered eating that's really kind of bothering and upsetting them, often for a long, for as long as they can remember. Um, but this is not an eating disorder program. And one of the cool things about the TSC, I think, is that we co-create the program together. So I will show you in a minute that a big part of the TSC is these live webinars that we do, and from the stage of what we do them in series, and from the stage of what webinar series do we do next, to what should we call this webinar series, to what content do we want in this webinar series. It's a whole program that we co-create with the community. And I think that's a really cool way to do it. And it really helps ensure that the content that we're giving is exactly what our members and people who are like our members really, really want and need. And Em, if you wouldn't mind, just in the chat box, maybe you could link the public version of the transformation support community, just for anybody who's interested in that. And so what does a member who's just joined the TSC, what do they kind of get? Like I said, a big thing, and I think really the heart of the TSC is these weekly live webinars. So, yeah, that we take a break over Christmas, but that's typically 4 weeks. So we're doing 48 webinars a year. So it's becoming this huge treasure trove of webinars that are kind of broken up into various topics, and it's really good support for the members who are participating live, because there's one of these live every week, typically 7:30 of a Wednesday. They also get access to 5 very detailed, really beautifully shot online programs. The transformation support community has been going since 2021. And these 5 online programs are what we did before that. And we had half a mind to just move directly into the webinars, but our members said, no, 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 we want these online programs. People really like them. They're quite detailed, they're quite structured. So our members get access to all of those online programs as well. They also get access to 4 audio programs. If I was telling you this story last year, it would have been 3. But the audio programs contain meditation, relaxation, and I'm a trained hypnotherapist, so they do include a lot of hypnotherapy. And our members really, really like them, so they asked for another one this year, and we've just delivered a fantastic, beautiful one that goes for 90 days, and people just do it for 15 minutes a day. This year also, we created a workout library that's done by a body positive exercise physiologist named Sarah Liz King, and we call that the Everybody Movement. So people can come and do size inclusive workouts at all levels of ability. In the online programs, you'll see a lot of the lessons in there have downloadable worksheets, so activities and reflections that the people can do. And every webinar series comes with its own workbook. It was something that the members really pushed for the first year, and from the second year on, every series comes with these beautiful workbooks, which are really helpful. We have an app, so you can kind of take the program with you wherever you go. And we do include a lot of support for the members. One of the key principles for us when we created the transformation support community was to support our members really closely. Like, support is in the name. We just believe that if you're trying to change ingrained habits and mindsets that you probably had for a very long time, you need a lot of support. So we have a Facebook community with what we call transformation support coaches who are fully registered health professionals, either dietitians or psychologists, in there 5 days a week. You can have a one-on-one session with me. It's a little 15-minute session that is just really designed to help get you unstuck, or if you're kind of a bit overwhelmed or don't know where to go with the program, to help you find your pathway to success. And then members who want one and are ready for one can have an accountability buddy. So these are all things that we do to support people who are members of the community. There is a lot here, as you can see, and we do say to our members that everything in the community is an option for you. None of it is an obligation. And so we hopefully fairly clearly, through welcome videos and welcome emails, help the member understand what might be more valuable for them and what they can kind of leave. So that's the TSC. And Erica said, will you be actually talking about the content, or is tonight's webinar just about the administrative side of the program? No, Erica, what I'm going to do is I sort of do want you to know how it works, but I'm going to actually take you through when I sort of give you the tour, I'm going to take you through some of the areas and show you what we're actually doing with people. And Dina asked, is this open to the international community? Yeah, that is one of the coolest things about the program, is that we have members all over the world. And how much does it cost per month? There's a couple of different options, and I'm going to talk you through those options, because the health professionals option is actually a lot cheaper than the full membership that's for the public. Okay, so let's talk about now the health professionals only membership, which I'm figuring is probably what most of us are interested in. Not the for the public membership, but the one that we've curated specifically for health professionals. So I thought it would be worthwhile me talking through, what's the rationale for why we created a health professionals membership for a program that was initially designed for the public. The health professionals membership is quite a novel way to do your professional development in this space. And we've been quite surprised with how interested health professionals have been in the transformation support community. And I think that's for 3 reasons. Because it's very applied professional development. You're actually seeing the work being done with and for real people. It's super duper in depth, very comprehensive. We go very deep, we go very wide. And it is quite an affordable membership compared to a lot of things that, I think that, how will I say this? Well, I think traditionally, professional development in the psychology of eating, weight, and body image is actually pretty expensive. So what we're trying to do is kind of flip the script on that. So let me talk to you about the applied element, because I think that this is a real strength of the health professionals membership, and also what makes it a bit of a novel way to do your PD. And we actually have, when we started the program for the public, we were surprised that a lot of health professionals were joining up to the program that was created for the public. And I think that part of the reason is that they're getting to see really applied work. Often in online courses or workshops, we're talking about some content, we're talking about it maybe more theoretically. we're maybe doing role plays with other health professionals, or trying to apply the information to ourselves. And we might not always have the same concerns that our clients do. But in the TSC, you're actually seeing the work being done in real time with real people. And I think that gives you a deeper level of understanding of how to apply the material. You'll see in the webinars that you get, real members ask questions. Yeah, Glenn, but what about this? How does this apply if I've had bariatric surgery? Or they share real stories, like you're talking about a principal and they go, the next week they say, yeah, I tried that. This is what happened. This is how it worked for me. And it really helps kind of bring the content to life. Because it's so applied, and in the webinars we have the people for so much time. We typically spend one webinar is on a principle or a technique, and so they get an hour on that. So we spend a lot of time not only talking about it, but actually troubleshooting and problem solving and workshopping it. And I think that really gives a health professional a good understanding of how to do this stuff when the rubber hits the road, which is exactly what we need for our clients. Through these conversations, because you see, sort of like today, I'm hoping that we'll get some really good interaction, like we're starting off with in the chat box, and that will benefit the people who are interacting, but also all the other health professionals like them. And we get the same in the TSC. People will ask questions, they'll interact, and they'll do it in a way that the conversation actually supports everybody who watches in their own time. And so you end up with these, like, bringing out these really beautiful clinical tips, or little stories or little sound bites that I think are really valuable for health professionals. I know that myself, I've sometimes read a health professional's book or seen them work in a demonstration. You just pick up these little phrases or little stories that can be as valuable as the actual content. Now, I just did these little slides up, these next couple of ones today, so I do hope they make sense. Excuse me. But the other thing that I think is really cool about the health professionals membership is that it's very in depth. It's really comprehensive. I think that health professionals have kind of been gravitating to it. Just, part of the reason is just the volume of the content there. So if we talk about content, these are some of the topics that we cover in my APS course, in my Dietitians Australia course, and in the TSC Health Professionals membership. And let's take, say, the intuitive eating and joyful movement. So this is work on having a healthy relationship with food and physical movement. In the APS course, we do that. We do 1 hour and 3/4 on that topic. It's one webinar. In the DA course, again, we do one webinar. It's a 2-hour webinar. So a little bit more. But in the TSC Health Professionals membership, the webinar series is 12 1-hour webinars. So as a general rule of thumb, compared to my other courses for health professionals, in my other courses for health professionals, we might spend like 10 to 15 minutes on an activity. In the TSC membership, we actually spend 1 hour on each activity. So it allows us to go into a lot more depth and explore the nuances and how you apply it than we would if we just had, 1 hour or two. And you can see this is kind of the same for all of these 5 topic areas: goal setting for people who have weight concerns, overcoming emotional eating, developing a positive body image, and cultivating the mindset for behavior change. So we do go deep, but we also go quite wide, because in the APS course, there's a couple more webinars, and basically it totals 11 and a bit hours. In the DA course, it's a little bit more, 13 hours. But if we put together the content, all of the webinars, the online programs, the stuff that's created just for health professionals in the health professionals membership, it's over 200 hours of PD and growing. So it's a huge resource, and we often find that if your clients are struggling with it, we have content on it. The other thing is, and this will answer your question, Dina, that it's quite affordable. So when we found out that so many health professionals were joining the full TSC membership, we wanted to create something that was just for them. And I'll tell you why in a minute. There's a couple of reasons. But when we were thinking of how we were going to do this, one of the things we really wanted to do was make it a low cost option. Because I think, times can be tough for health professionals. And I frankly think that a lot of the PD we do is really expensive. Now, that's okay if it's good value, but I don't think it has to be this way. So here's a little table again. I just did this up today, so please ask any questions and let me know if this doesn't make any sense to you. But if you look at, here's the cost of, say, the APS, the APS course that I do. And it's $280 if you're a member, or $360 if you're a non-member. That's, like I said, the 11.25 hours of PD. So if you look at that at cost per hour of PD, it's $25 if you're a member, $32 if you're not a member. Similar with the DA course, but the DA course is a little bit more expensive for non-members. And then if we look over to the TSC Health Professionals membership, the first thing is, with this membership, you don't actually have to sign up for a whole year. So that's another advantage. We hopefully will have members who are with us for years because there's so much content in there, and we can absolutely envisage that. But if you wanted to, say, learn about one specific thing and join up just for 3 months, you can absolutely do that. There's no contracts or anything like that. But if we look at that sort of monthly, or convert it to a yearly rate and add it, and then divide that by 200 hours of professional development, then you end up paying like $2 for an hour of PD. Now, like I said, I did this up today and I thought to myself, I don't imagine many people are going to do the full 200 plus hours of PD in 1 year. So then I calculated this second number at, if you were to just do an hour of PD a week, so 52 hours. So then you end up with like a sort of a rate of $2 to $7. So it's a lot cheaper, kind of chalk and cheese when compared to most of the PD in this space that's out there. So I'd love to talk you through the details of the health professionals membership, because it does differ in some important ways from the full membership that's for the public. And I want to talk to you about like why we've done it this way and the rationale for it. So this is basically what I showed you about, what were the offerings for the full membership. So basically, one of the ways that we've been able to make this such low cost is by basically taking out the support elements of the membership. So what I mean by that is that if you're a health professional wanting to apply these ideas, you don't need the Facebook group or an accountability buddy or a little 15-minute session with me to find your way, because you're a health professional who's doing this not for themselves but for their ability to help other people. And it's sort of really follows that adult learning model. So you do get access, for example, to the entire webinar library, which we think is for most people going to be most of the value or a lot of the value, but you don't attend those webinars live like the full members. You don't have access to the Facebook group or accountability buddies or that one-on-one support. And that's for a couple of reasons. The first reason is, like I said, you don't need it. And the second reason, which is just as important to us, is that when we had health professionals who were kind of joining in the TSC, when this just kind of started, we really weren't prepared for it. And sometimes they were kind of asking questions that were more relevant to health professionals or in the Facebook group talking about doing this work with clients. And that really is not what we want for our members. You know, we work really hard at creating a very safe space for our members. And if health professionals are in there focusing on their health professional stuff, then our members can kind of feel like they're being spied on or talked about, whereas it really, you know, we have to preserve that safety and that integrity and the right culture in the group. So for those reasons, that's why we've created the health professionals membership, and we think it actually works better for our health professionals because you get it a lot cheaper, and better for our members because it really protects that safe space. And good timing, Bex. I just saw your message said, just checking. I assume, and I assume it is, this course is PD acknowledged and accredited via Dietitians Australia. So this is really, really important. This is another reason why the membership is a lower cost, because there is part of it that will satisfy that highest level of PD for dietitians, for psychologists, and for personal trainers. But there is a lot of the material that is your own professional development. So I don't know how it works exactly for dietitians, but for psychologists, we have to have a certain amount of hours of PD that meets these very strict requirements, and then we have other hours of PD that meets less strict requirements. So with this course, there are certain hours that meet those strict requirements, and I'll talk you through them now. And then there are certain hours that meet those less strict requirements. And Beck, please, if you want any further info on that, please keep talking with me. Might become a bit clearer after I sort of walk you through the program. So yeah, when we were doing this, one of the things that we really wanted to do was make sure that it really worked beautifully for health professionals. And we were taking a little bit out for the health professionals. We didn't think they really needed it, but we were taking it out. So we wanted to kind of add something in. And so we actually talked to some of the health professional members who are doing the full membership. We said, hey, we're going to create this health professionals membership. What do you want in a course like that? So we actually created a little health professionals hub that's designed especially for health professionals, and that bit can help you to sort of satisfy all of your PD requirements. Look, we wanted to do that, and we think that a lot of our health professionals really will appreciate that. We already know some members that really do, but for us, this membership was really based on getting you the information and really having you so you can see this work being done and you can benefit from it. So we didn't structure it with PD hours in mind. We structured it with learning in mind, and then we made sure that there was part of it that can satisfy your PD hours if that's something that's important to you. As we know, it's, you know, important to a lot of us. And maybe you could link the health professionals membership, like the main information page, because if you're interested, that will, I mean, that's how you sign up, but that will explain, you can sort of see side by side the differences between the health professionals and the full membership. Look, we actually do have, and I won't spend too much time on this, but we actually do have quite a few health professional full members who are interested for their own reasons, for their personal reasons, and we absolutely welcome them in the full membership. So it is a bit of a decision that a lot of health professionals are making. Is this more for my PD, or is this actually more for me personally? Because we do definitely, if you're doing the program for you, then we absolutely welcome you to do the full membership. Okay, let me stop sharing this screen and I'll start to, um, I'll give you a little tour around the program, and this will probably give us a bit of a better idea. Now, again, just checking. Thank you, Em. You know what I'm wondering? Okay. So this is what happens when you join the program. It's a little bit of a welcome, some trending stuff that's going on. And basically, this is all the stuff that you'll have access to. So you will have access to, for example, our old audio programs and our new audio program. You will have access to our size inclusive workouts. But that's not the stuff that we think you'll be most interested in. We basically had a choice whether to leave it in there or not. And we thought, look, some people will enjoy it. So we left it all in there, but we don't think those are going to be the most important parts. We think the most important parts for our health professional members will be, firstly, this health professionals hub. So if we have a look in here, and this is, if you're a health professional and you're very interested in getting those PD hours for your continuing CPD, this is the place to go. So there's a little introduction here where we kind of tell you all about the HP's program in a bit more detail so you know the ins and outs. And then there is this webinar series that is designed especially for health professionals. So this is actually material that we created for Dietitian Connection. And they've kindly given us permission to use this. So it's work I've done with a live group of dietitians, and it meets all of your PD requirements. So if you can see, say, for example, we go to webinar 4, freedom from emotional eating. I think that's actually the short one. Yeah, that's a minute, an hour 20, but it's an hour. Normally they're about an hour and a half webinars, and it's a series of 5 of them. So it's 7.5 hours of CPD points. And then these are, you have your health professionals questions, and they're different for dietitians and psychologists and other health professionals, but that's designed to give you all of the requirements to meet your CPD points. Depending on, everyone's CPD points are a little bit different, so depending on what your profession is. So if you wanted then to delve a little deeper, you could say, for example, go to these online programs. This is the 5 online programs that I let you know about earlier. So again, we see these similar same topic areas, but whereas the emotional eating one that we went was just under an hour and a half. If we look at the same topic, freedom from emotional eating, what we see here is some pretty chunky kind of structured courses. And then if we say go into one of these, the urge surfing strategy, you'll find a video of me. And they can feel, as I'm sure you know, very compelling. So if you get an emotional eating urge, it can feel like you need to eat, and the only way get that uncomfortable urge to come back down again is to eat the food. So these are sort of more nicely shot videos, and if we scroll down, you see they come with some text. So if you like things that are nice and pretty, and you like to do a lot of reading, they often come with a like a little PDF download of an activity. Then these are a really good thing to do. So again, we are covering similar topics, and it's up to you to decide what is more important to me. Is it more important to me to get my CPD hours up? Is it more important to me to go through something that's very structured and very detailed? And the online programs do include quite a bit of theory and a bit of research. And yeah, again, you have the 5 of those. Or you could delve into the webinars. And so this is where all of our live recorded webinars are. So let's just stay with the emotional eating theme. And this is where, we get even more detailed. So we see each of these webinars is roughly an hour, or if they're done by me, they probably go for sometimes an hour, up to an hour 10, hour and 20 sometimes. And if we just say go into here, then you see, hopefully I'm not saying anything ridiculous at this time, but I think that what a lot of people need in the non-diet community is the fact that these foods are created to be craved and overeaten. So we have to also acknowledge that part of it. So in the spirit of what we're doing in this series, looking at things from both angles, or looking at things from all angles, we're going to kind of go there and explore what this might mean for us, and then what we can do about it. So you see that the webinars are very much kind of like the way that I would talk to a client, and we talk about typically one principle, but then we workshop it, we troubleshoot it, we discuss it, we talk about the nuances, and it is very, very applied. Though we do share the chat box in there as well, so you can follow along with what people are saying. So you can see, there's a series there on emotional eating and psychological well-being. There's another series, again, I think it's 12 weeks on intuitive eating and joyful movement. We do an intro and an outro and 5 webinars on each. Again, a quite detailed 13 plus 2 bonus week session on self-esteem and body image. As I'm sure you can appreciate, that's a big topic. But in 15 hours, we can really delve into it in quite a deep and also a practical way. We also do have guest experts presenting in the webinars. So this is, for example, a small 8 session series on tapping with Dr. Peter Stapleton, who's a well-known tapping researcher and guru. And again, this is all about, understanding where this fits in. If you're, say, for example, with this course, if you understand about tapping and you want a deeper knowledge, this is real rubber hits the road. This will really deepen and enhance your ability to do tapping with your clients if you already know about it. But if you don't know a lot about it, then it's not going to give you the same sort of information, as we actually have a tapping for weight management practice certificate, which is another big course. It's a lot more expensive. It's $500. But it gives you a tapping practice certificate. So I think that's, this is actually more probably, I would consider these webinars really great information and really helpful. But if you want to say get accredited as something, these don't include that. So this is a wonderful habit series we did with Dr. Gina Cleo, who is a dietitian and a habits guru. We did this last year, and again, you can see it's a 12 plus 2 webinar series that our health professionals just love. Our team really loves it when Gina does her series. But again, Dr. Gina does have a much bigger, more detailed course where she supports you to become a habit change practitioner. And so it's important to understand where this kind of fits in. We really love it. I sit in Gina's webinars and just write furious notes, and it's so helpful for me and so helpful for my clients. But it is important that you understand what it is and also what it isn't. This is actually something that's probably good for you to understand. Because health professionals don't get access to the live webinars, there's always a series going on, pretty much, with the exception of our Christmas break. And this is what it will look like for you. The first, I'll go back, the most live series, the current series is always at the top. And you'll see there's a couple of sessions that we've done with Gina. She's just starting her advanced healthy habits series. We called Creating Healthier Habits. And you'll see there's, a bunch of webinars to come. So that's how you'll know if you want to follow on with the live webinars. This is also, you'll find this too in the upcoming, there's a section for upcoming and current webinars. So if you want to stay in touch with the flow of the live webinars, even though you don't attend them as a health professionals member, that's kind of how you do it. Okay, so guys, thank you for letting me show you around the community, and I'm just going to check the chat box. Next says, thanks, Glenn. Good explanations. Cool. Just continuing on from the CPD points. Wondering how the CPD points differs from the WMP course you used to run through the DA to this new TSC course. Is the course similar CPD points, but with extra personal development and deep learnings and applications? I think that's exactly the way to think about it. And the way that I sort of think about it when you compare it to either my dietitians or my psychologist courses through DA or the APS, is that in the DA, if we take a concept, we're spending an hour and a half to 2 hours on it, and each little idea we might spend 15 minutes on. The material in the webinars, we will spend roughly an hour on each one of those. So it just gives a much more in-depth, much more practical working understanding of the techniques. The other thing is that the material in the webinars and the extra material that you don't get in the health professionals only stuff is actually our newest and our most applied stuff. So you will actually see probably, for lack of better words, better content in there, better and newer content in there. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this. Guys, great questions. I so much prefer talking to real people and rather than just like giving everyone death by PowerPoint. But speaking of death by PowerPoint, I do have a few more PowerPoint slides. Okay. So I always do this, just double checking. You can see my slides. Rock and roll. We're getting the hang of this. Look, guys, these are just basically some commendations from well-known health professionals, just to sort of show you that I think I'm a good person to take you through this training. This is from Leah Brennan, who's a professor. She's a psychologist and a professor at La Trobe, and she runs a psychology-based clinic in this space similar to mine. This is from Marie Ferguson. So as well as my work with Dietitians Australia and the APS, I also do a lot of work with Dietitian Connection. We love them. And Marie actually shared this webinar with her community. So hello to all of the dietitians, all of the psychologically minded dietitians who are coming to us through Dietitian Connection. And this is from a wonderful personal trainer named Libby Babette. And I suppose I'm showing you this to highlight that this work can work really well for mindset professionals like psychologists, coaches, and counselors, nutrition professionals like dietitians and nutritionists, and fitness experts like exercise physiologists, PTs, group trainers. There really is some good PD in there for the variety of health professionals, because all of our clients, obviously have the same concerns. So I've been talking a lot. Oh, goodness me. And would you please just be able to link the health professionals webpage? So if anyone would like to join, we would of course love to have you. Um, like I said, the full membership price is $120 a month for the full program. Um, it's actually, we have a discount on at the moment, so it's $90. But the health professionals membership, there's no discount. It's just an everyday 75% off the full program price. So it's a really, really inexpensive, really affordable way to do your PD in this space. Look, there is a 7-day free trial that we always have on it, and there's no contract. So we're really heartened, and this kind of creating this kind of came out of the demand from health professionals, but we've been really heartened that people are coming. People are really enjoying, they're joining up, they're kind of flocking to it, and then the people who have been with us for a while are sticking around. So we're really heartened. And look, guys, I will read, actually. I did a little promo of this webinar on LinkedIn. And I had a lovely gentleman, I won't mention his name, who said, this was just on when I was talking about this webinar. And he said, "Thanks, Glenn. I'm in the health professionals membership already. Even though I've been working in the area of weight and diabetes for 20 plus years, I'm getting a lot out of the program so far." So we're really stoked with it. We think it's something that's a bit unique and a bit novel and really cool. And I think you will like it too. But really, because there's a trial and there's no contracts, you really got everything to gain and nothing to lose. Em, I'm sure, has put the link up for you. So we would absolutely, if you see the potential in it, we would love for you to join us. We think it's something that's pretty cool that we're doing. Okay. That's all I've got for us today, guys. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much for your interest and your engagement in the chat box. I'm sure it's going to be really, really helpful for our many members who, as busy health professionals, not many of us have shown up live. If you do watch the webinars in the series, you'll know that I almost never finish up early. So I will be, and they go this time, 7:30 to 8:30. So I almost never finish before 8:30. But I am just going to check the chat box to see if anyone has any last questions about things. No. Guys, you've got my email. So if, something pops up at some random time, like it may do, then please just hit me up. But otherwise, guys, I think that, we're really excited about this. I have believed for a long time that I've wanted to do something, I suppose, independently. And Em's nodding, Em's the same. We've wanted to do something independently to bring this info to mindset and nutrition and movement professionals. We feel as though a little bit of info goes a long way. And so we know we can help a lot of people. So we're really grateful that you share your interest in this. And we're looking forward to continuing the journey with you. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. And we'll look forward to working with you soon.